What's up, everybody? This is Steve Sterlacci, and today we are looking at the actual ToneX pedal from IK Multimedia. So for the past few months, ToneX has been really something a lot of people are talking about, particularly in the direct solution, the digital modeling, the amp capturing, the amp profiling. That crowd has really been high on ToneX lately, and if you don't know what ToneX is, it's a product, it's a plugin, it's a software that IK Multimedia came out with a few months ago that essentially captures the way that your amp responds, feels, and sounds. And now what we're celebrating today is the release of a pedal form of this software. And this is pretty huge in the guitar community right now because there's a huge void in the market for a profiler or capture box that fits and integrates into your existing pedal board or your existing rig. As you can see here, it's about the size of an HX Stomp. I'd say it's slightly larger, but it's a pretty small footprint. It's got 3 foot switches on it. And on it, we have pretty much enough controls to do anything we need to do within the ToneX software. And each of these knobs is also a dual function. So starting from the top, we have our model select. And if you hold that, it takes you into your setup menu. Then you have your parameter, gain, bass, mid, treble, volume, and at the top we have our preset selector or the back button, and that's how you save. And if you look at that parameter button, you'll see there's a hold alt. And when you hold alt, it gives you access to that bottom layer of parameters. So you have your reverb, your compressor, your noise gate, your presence, and your depth when you're in the alt mode, and that's indicated by the little green alt on the screen. As far as I/O goes, we have MIDI ins and outs, we have an input for your guitar, and we have a stereo out. So there's no effects loop on this, and there really doesn't need to be. So why there's no effects loop is because this is meant to go in the middle of your pedal board if that's something that you're used to doing. If you're somebody that typically uses vintage single channel amps where your whole pedal board goes into the front end, then you just want to put this at the end of your pedal board or even off your pedal board as a kind of satellite rig or just a grab and go thing. And if you're somebody that does a typical 4-cable method or uses effects loops, you want to put this after your drive section and before your modulated and delay reverb effects. This could all be tweaked to taste, but in general, that's where this is designed to go, and that's why it doesn't have an effects loop, because it really doesn't need one. And as far as the physical aspect of the pedal, the beautiful thing about this is how simple it is and how easy it is. That's really it. I mean, you have a whole amp profile capture software in here, and it holds, and if we go over here to the ToneX standalone app, you'll see what I'm talking about here. This is the ToneX plugin or the standalone app. Right now I'm in the standalone app, and if I go over to this tab, and keep in mind I am on a pre-release software here, so if yours looks a little bit different than mine by the time you get yours, that means that there were updates, but this is the pre-release software. So you have 50 banks from 0 to 49. Each one has an A, B, and a C, which coincides with the A, B, and C foot switches on the actual pedal. If you press the left 2 or the right 2, you'll see bank up and down. That'll just take you literally from one bank to the next. So from 0, 0 to 0, 1, etc., as you can, I'm sure, figure out by now. So here we have 150 amp profiles at your disposal at all times. And not only do you have the amp profiles, but if I go over to the player selection here, you also have reverb, a post EQ, a post compressor, and a noise gate all built into the pedal. And these reverbs are actually really good. We'll get into those when we get to the sound demo. This is all stuff that already exists in ToneX already. So if you're not familiar with ToneX, there's hundreds of videos out there on actually the ToneX software, but all of this is able to be ported into the pedal. And one thing I wanted to show is how easy it is to import and export your presets. So I'm just going to turn my phone on here because I have a little bit of a problem. So here you see my pedal board and you see my ToneX pedal right here. Sorry if it's a little bit grainy. I'm just doing this quickly with my cell phone here. And my problem comes from, I have 2 different captures here and they look the same because they're both SS SLO. But as you can see, one is cleaner and one is the OD, but you see how quickly that goes by. But my real problem comes with this channel C. I can't have this title. Oh, it goes to the rest of it. So I profiled my Analog Outfitters Sarge, which is this amp right here. So when I titled it, as you see on the screen, I title all my things SS and then my initials and then the title of the amp. So this being SS Analog Outfitters Sarge didn't quite fit on the screen the way that I needed it to. And I mean, it's kind of funny. You can insert whatever jokes you want to be there. It's like some type of weird ship name, I guess. So I'm going to just rearrange my names and maybe tweak some of these presets. And to do that, I'm going to go over to my presets here, and I have my Analog Outfitter Sarge here. So I'm going to want to go to this preset name, and I've got to change this. So let's try Analog Outfitter Sarge SS and do it that way. Now I'm going to save that, and now head over to the librarian, and this is how easy it is to import and export presets. Now I'm just going to take this Analog Outfitter Sarge, and I'm going to drag it over this, and I'm going to overwrite it. Factory captures are pretty cool. I just like to make my own. I have all these amps here at my disposal, so I really want to make my own. Let me get my phone back. So now when I look at my pedal board, I will see analog instead of the other thing that was up there. I much prefer to see analog there. That was kind of funny. And now I want to do the same exact thing with the other one. So now when I'm on the SS SLO cleaner, I'm going to just go into here. Boom, we'll save that. We're going to overwrite that. And that should be my SS SLO clean. And I'm going to go up, drag over that, and that's now importing into the pedal. So that's there. And I'm going to take this. Into that slot. So now that my 3 slots on here are usable, this is also just to show you guys how to import and export your presets. It's really easy to do that. And if you ever want to put these anywhere, you could just right click here, hit export preset, and you can post these. So these will be available on the ToneNet, which is essentially this is where you can, download free presets or, other people's captures. Eventually I do plan on opening up a store with all of the nice amps that I have here. I'd love to put together a bunch of capture bundles of these amps. But this SLO is free for you today if you subscribe to the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so at this point. And yeah, you'll get these 2 SLOs and you'll get my Analog Outfitters Sarge capture. Okay, so before we get into the tones here, let me know what you want to see from the ToneX Pedal in the future. Obviously, the pedal is just a house for the ToneX software. So anything, if you feel like I'm kind of skipping around here, that means anything is available already either in one of my or somebody else's ToneX videos where you can, build your own models and make your captures and import, export them. This is just how to do it into and out of the pedal. I have my drives going into the ToneX as if it were a real amp, and then I'm going out of the ToneX into my Strymon Lex, which is then going stereo out into my HX Stomp. And I am recording that direct. This will first be the SLO cleaner sound that we talked about before. Go to the neck pickup here. And in between. Now I'm going to hit that in the front with the Nobles ODR1, one of the old ones. Now let's hit it with the Prince of Tone. And you obviously can do all of your clean stuff. By the way, this is an Epiphone inspired by Gibson 335 that I got from my friends at American Musical Supply. And let's go to the next capture. Oh yeah, by the way, if you do double press one of the foot switches, it will bypass the pedal. So if I press foot switch A again, I'm now bypassing the pedal, and then re-engaging it engages the ToneX pedal. So let's go to that. Let's save the high gain for stuff for later. So this is the Analog Outfitters capture preset. Hit that with a little delay from the line 6. So you can hear it takes pedals really well. Here's a harmonic tremolo. And that reverb you're hearing is also part of the ToneX. And now let's have some fun with the highest gain. This is the SLO. Well, this is the SLO OD side. So no noise gate or anything on. We're just rocking it. It's really great for like palm muting stuff. And now I'm going to actually hit that with an EQ pedal for a solo boost. Hit a little bit of a ducking delay on it and get it like a nice big lead sound. So really easy to get carried away playing with this. This is the most fun I've had with a real pedal board in a long time. I've been on full digital modeling mode for the last like 6 years. So this is definitely a breath of fresh air in the gear industry right now. I'm really enjoying using this with my real pedals and my real pedal board. And I feel confident now to take this out on a silent stage where, you know, we're not allowed to use amps, or you have to keep the mics, you have to keep the amps so low it's not even worth having them on, or using in-ear situations. It's kind of the way that the music business is going. I mean, we've been on silent stage for a couple of years now, but this is an ultimate great, super awesome solution for those that need to do that. And I think that about covers it for this, basic overview of what the pedal can and can't do. Ask any questions you have below, and if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.